Let's get ready together whilst I tell you about the story of when I was followed back to my hotel room whilst I was in Ibiza. This literally happened on my last trip a couple of weeks ago. This happened in the hotel that I stay at every time I go to Ibiza. I think I've stayed there 7 or 8 times now, so I feel really safe there, or thought I felt really safe there. Me and my boyfriend had gone out to dinner that evening and come back to the hotel. We decided that we wanted some snacks, so he went up to the shop, which is just up on the high street away from the hotel, and I went back to the hotel. There were 2 men standing directly outside the hotel, and they just started harassing me, shouting stuff at me, being really vulgar. They obviously wanted a reaction from me, but I decided to ignore them. They made me feel really uneasy. I don't know what it was about them. Also shouting at me in their language. I'm pretty sure that they were Albanian. That whole trip we were staying on the 3rd floor and we were using the stairs rather than the elevator just to get some extra steps in. I had called my boyfriend, told him what was going on, and had walked towards the stairs, started walking up the stairs, either got to the 2nd floor or nearly to the 3rd floor. I was still talking to him on the phone, turned around, and one of the men was stood right behind me, and he started shouting at me in his language. Don't know what he was saying. I'm usually really observant about what's going on around me, and I did not hear him come up behind me. I then freaked out, told my boyfriend that he was right behind me. He then blocked me from going up or down the stairs, and I panicked. I passed him to get down the stairs and I ran back down the stairs. My boyfriend had also run all the way back from the shop. I then heard him screaming and shouting in the lobby for the security guard to come up the stairs. I had then made it down to the bottom of the stairs, and the man that was following me up the stairs had stayed up there. He didn't come back down. And as soon as I got to the ground floor, the other guy that was harassing me had come out of the elevator. So I don't know whether he went up in the elevator to try and catch me and the other guy went on the stairs. I think that was what they were trying to do. My boyfriend then was there. He then went running up the stairs to try and find the guy that had got me on the stairs. He couldn't find him. The security guard was then shouting at me, asking what my room number was in front of the other guy who had followed me up in the elevator, and another staff member had come. They were both asking me what room I was in front of the guy that was harassing me. Why would I ever say my room number in front of the guys that were harassing me and had followed me to my room? Make it make sense. There was obviously a bit of a language barrier between the security guard, member of staff that was working in the hotel, and me. I ended up finding the other man that had followed me up the stairs. He was lingering up on the staircase. He was then taken with the security guard and his other friend that was harassing me to go and speak to the security guard and the member of staff. And we'd found out that they were actually guests of the hotel as well. The security guard and member of staff asked the men what they were doing. They said, "It's Ibiza, it's just a bit of fun." That was their response. Obviously, the intent was to follow behind me into the room. What was he gonna do? Honestly, it's unthinkable, but I don't understand why men think they can get away with it by saying it's just a bit of fun. How is that just a bit of fun? And luckily we found out that they were checking out the next day. But personally, I feel like the hotel should have stopped them from staying in the hotel that night. I just don't understand, at what point do things have to be taken seriously? Does it only get taken seriously when someone gets assaulted? Does it have to get to that point before? Because what were your intentions by following me to my hotel room? Surely they were not good ones. It just makes me so infuriated and angry that men just get away with this time and time again. Unfortunately, we saw them again when they were checking out. They were standing outside again smoking. I walked past them out of the hotel room so they hadn't seen my face. I had sunglasses on, I think I had a hat on as well, so they wouldn't have known who I was. And they did the same thing. They made the same harassing comments, kissy noises, kissy faces, and shouting at me the entire time I was walking away from them. So they were still going to do the same thing to potentially someone else the next day. I hope that they get their karma. I hope that they don't ever get the chance to do anything to any women. Absolutely sickens me. The hotel staff did give us another room on the other side of the building because I told them that I don't feel safe, but to be honest, I am quite disappointed with how they handled the whole situation. I completely understand that it's obviously not their fault and they can't control what the guests in the hotel get up to, but I just feel really disappointed about how everything was handled and what would have actually had to have happened to me before things get taken seriously. In hindsight, I should have gone straight to the hotel desk, told them what the men were doing outside instead of going directly up to my room. But I honestly felt so safe in that hotel, and I never ever thought that they would have followed me to my room, because you never think that it's going to be you. So we all need to be extra vigilant, because this kind of behaviour from some men just can't continue happening.